All right, Miles, let's talk about the Bengals here for a little bit. As Cincinnati fans are very well aware of, this is a team that's been this close to winning the title on two separate occasions these past couple seasons. They were this close to winning the Super Bowl 2 years ago against the Rams. Were this close to beating the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game in Kansas City. Arguably had the game stolen from them, but that is the past. The Bengals, like everybody else in the NFL, is focusing on the future, and we've seen it so far this offseason. The Bengals have done a great job filling out a couple key holes, but they recently made a really sneaky good under the radar move that I think could be massive for them come regular season time.
Yeah, Nick, can you speak about the future? The future is obviously with Joe Burrow. His Super Bowl window is his entire career. He's actually kind of already started to prove that a little bit. Been very, very solid. But speaking about the future, draft right around the corner. And that's why we want the Bengals fans to let us know in the comments below. Who are you picking with your first round pick? What position group do you think needs to upgrade the most? Or who do you think the most valuable player in this draft is? Let us know in the comments below. And Nick, if everybody can stay tuned to the end of today's video, we have a very special offer from the partner of today's video, Neuro. But Nick, what is this move that Cincinnati just made?
Yeah, so obviously the Bengals bringing in Orlando Brown earlier this offseason was an outstanding move. Maybe the steal of the offseason, actually. We talked about it at the time. But I think they actually made a move very recently that could be just as good because this is a team, obviously, that's built to win now. They're just looking for the final key pieces, maybe an extra playmaker at a kind of under-the-radar position to push them over the top because they got the big-name stars at wide receiver. Obviously, Joe Burrow, their window's always open with him as their quarterback, as he likes to say. And I think that's why the Bengals have reportedly signed tight end Irv Smith to a contract. I think it's a huge move. This is according to The Athletic. The Bengals agreed to a one-year contract with Smith on Monday night, slotting him as the starting tight end after Hayden Hurst left in free agency. Miles, I absolutely love this move for just one particular reason. Irv Smith coming out of college, I was a big fan of him, right? There were some question marks about, what were his tools like? Because he's not as fast as some of these other tight ends. He wasn't as big and strong as like a Michael Meyer out of Notre Dame this year or Rob Gronkowski in years past. He didn't have the leaping ability of like a Jimmy Graham, right? He didn't have just the raw natural speed of like a Darren Waller. He wasn't as just big and as just physical as a Mark Andrews for the Ravens, but he was just a good, solid football player. He just ran good routes, blocked well, got open and caught the football. In today's NFL, though, that's almost kind of not what some teams use their tight ends for. They kind of just draft the tight end, and he's a tight end in name only. They don't use him the way they used to use old school tight ends like Jason Witten. I thought Jason Witten was outstanding. He wouldn't last in today's NFL just because of the way he likes to play. Irv Smith going to the Bengals is a perfect fit because the Bengals already have those matchup nightmare playmakers. They already have the Jamar Chases and the Higgins, right? The guys that will make big plays on the outside. They just need a guy to control the middle of the field, get open, find the holes in those zone coverage, catch the football, and keep the chains moving. And I think Irv Smith is the perfect guy to do that. He's just a really good football player. Doesn't jump off the page, at least in my opinion, in terms of raw athletic skills compared to other tight ends. But I think when you look at what he can do on the field and his total skill set, he's a day one big-time contributor for the Bengals offense. I think this is a massive pickup for the Cincinnati football team. What are your thoughts on this move, Mize?
Yeah, Nick, I think Irv Smith has been, kind of an anomaly in his career. He hasn't really gotten his time to shine. But you know who's really good at taking tight ends, using them to their fullest potential, and just highlighting how good they are? That's Joe Burrow. You see he did it with Uzama. You see he did it with Hayden Hurst. These are guys who are on the last year or on a one-year prove-it type deal, have a big season with Joe Burrow because he's very good at highlighting the tight end position. They go off to get these monster contracts. Now, Irv Smith is the third guy in line of this rotating door, so to speak, of tight ends coming into this offense. And he's the next guy, Nick, who I think is going to be a big-time playmaker for the Bengals. Irv Smith has been pretty good. He's got good size, as you say. I think he'll be a good red zone target for Burrow. I think he converts touchdown-wise very, very well. He had 5 touchdowns in 2020. And last year, he also had 2 touchdowns as well. So he's a big guy, but he's not quite as big, like you said. But I think he's big enough to be a good red zone target for a guy like Burrow, who can use and highlight the tight end position very, very well. So I like the move here. I think it's an upgrade over whoever. I think the other tight end they might have was like Asiasi still. Or it all the same.
Yeah,
nobody notable. Nobody that is as physically gifted or athletic as a guy like Irv Smith. I think he will be a very, very good replacement. So I like this move in the fact that they need a tight end. They go out and address it probably with the best guy available at the time and not hemorrhaging a lot of money, because right now there's a lot of players to pay on this Bengals team. And the tight end position may be on the back burner for a minute. So if you can keep getting these free agent guys coming in on these 1-year deals, the more and more Joe Burrow flips these guys out and makes them look like ultra stars, the better and better the talent is going to be coming into Cincinnati, Nick. I think this is a really smart move by the Bengals.
Yeah, and you look at the fit too, it kind of makes sense because obviously Irv Smith coming from Minnesota, he's played on offenses that feature big time receivers that rely very heavily on the outside passing game. And he was perfectly comfortable with that, obviously, right? He's come from Alabama, very much of the same thing, relied heavily on those number of plethora of all-star wide receivers. Alabama had Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, all those great Alabama teams. He's used to not being the number one option. He's used to not being the number two option. He seems to be perfectly okay with that because according to Fox Sports' Peter Schrager, Irv Smith chose the Bengals specifically. He had lots of other offers, lots of other teams fielding him, wanting to come into their fold. He says, no, I'm going to Cincinnati. I want to play with Burrow. I want to play in this offense. So it seems like just a great fit from both sides of the coin here. You've got Irv Smith wanting to come to Cincinnati to win and compete and play with Burrow and these other star players. And you got the Bengals addressing a key need on their offense. This is an outstanding move by the Bengals, and this is a great sign for them going forward for 2023. All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner in today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big time game winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Mize. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.